Hi, Greg. Can I drive my boat to Japan? Can I live in my boat in Japan? And after I learn Japanese, can I get a job in Japan? I don't have a degree. Can I get a job in Japan? What kind of visa do I need?
どうしたの頭おかしくなった。
Well, man, that sounds pretty cool. Driving your boat to Japan. What kind of permits do you need to do that? What kind of license do you need to drive your boat to Japan? Do you know how expensive it's going to be to park your boat in a harbor near any major city in Japan, like Osaka or near Tokyo? Do you know that only the cream of the crop here in Japan can afford parking a yacht in a harbor or at a pier here in in a metropolitan area here in Japan? You have to be extremely wealthy to do that. In your question, you pose it like, after I learn Japanese, do you think I can get a job? Well, look, let me tell you, man. I've been in Japan for 14 years, and my Japanese is just enough to get by. I mean, uh, I think I'm pretty modest about my language skills. I mean, I communicate with Rie. It's all in Japanese, and I take care of all my like when I found an apartment, I did that all in Japanese, and setting up my gas, electricity accounts and stuff. But Japanese is very difficult, and I mean, if you want to get to the level where you're going to get a job, and it's a what I call a non gaijin job, where it's not about teaching English or the fact that you're a gaijin, but uh, your job solely depends on really your ability to speak like a native. That's not going to happen anytime soon. I'd say 20 years maybe. Give yourself 20 years to be able to speak fluently and really be able to speak close to a native, or, be able to handle most situations. And then I mean, I've said this in other videos, and you can find this information on the internet and on YouTube. And I'm getting this question like every other day. I'm getting tired of answering it. But to be nice and to help you out, my best advice would be to save up enough money. I'd save up about $15,000 for a year, and that's a low end estimate. And that's not including your school fees. So that's having about, no, I'd say 18,000. Sorry about that. I'd say 18,000. Then you've got 1,500 a month for your expenses, and that's on 1,500 a month. You can live. You can live in a small apartment like I live in, and just have the bare necessities. Okay, so that's 18,000 for the year, just for living expenses, for food, rent, everything. And then you need to save up for your school fees for the year, which I don't know how much it would be. Another $10,000 for full time. What you're doing is you're going to be a student of the Japanese language, and in exchange for paying for the tuition, the school is going to give you a student visa. When you have a student visa, then you can legally be in Japan. Not like a tourist where you can only stay for 30 days, but you can stay in Japan for as long as your student visa is valid for. And if you paid for a year's worth of schooling, they're going to give you a visa for a year. So you've got a year-long visa, and then when you have the student visa, you can also work up to 20 hours a week. And if you can get a job as an English teacher, you're going to make anywhere from a really low would be $15 an hour for a crappy position, but I'd say average is around, well, maybe 25 an hour. And if you do private lessons, you can start at $30 an hour. So if you're working 28 hours a week at $25 an hour, yeah, you're going to make enough money to support yourself. But don't come to Japan thinking that you're going to get a job right away. You got to save up that $18,000. That's your that's your core guaranteed money that you're going to be able to stay in Japan for a year. You know, and then money you make on top of that as an English teacher, that'll just help you out down the road. So that's the way I would do it. You know, I can't tell people how to do things, but that's my best advice from being a veteran in Japan for 14 years. So good luck on your boat trip over here, man. I'm out.